just an incredible motor, unbelievable energy. Had obviously a significant impact with the way he played. I always felt like the best part of his game was his ball handling and his passing for his size. You know, he's never been like this great knockdown shooter. And then getting a chance, after, you know, recruiting, obviously his dad was involved, his mom was involved, his AAU coach, Tyrone Green, was involved. He had a lot of really, really good quality people around him. You know, and then coaching him, I saw a different side, you know, from the recruiting. He is a consummate winner. And I said this about Horford, I said it about Beal, and I'll say it about Joe Kim. They have an unbelievable awareness of what's going on inside of a locker room, and those guys can bring connection, cohesiveness, unity, and everything for Joe's about winning. That's the only thing that matters. He could care less about anything else. And you know, even having he and Horford in the front court, you know, for 3 years, you know, people never realize this, but like Torian Green, Sidney Green's son, he was our leading scorer. Now, Horford and Noah both could have got 25 a game, but they knew that we couldn't be as good as we could be if they did that. So you look at what those guys did offensively in terms of their point production, it didn't really tell the story of the impact that those two guys had. And Joe was a guy that's everything revolves around winning. That's the only thing that matters about. Once this score being kept, that's the only thing that matters to him.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was good.
I was going to say, which you did win with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, starting off that year with a team that was unranked. You know, I said this about this group. It's so hard to compare teams over a lengthy history of college basketball, but I would think that team would need to go down as one of the greatest teams in the history of the game, because they're the only group that won a national championship unranked and came back the next year and were ranked #1 in the country and won it again. So they did it with no expectations, and they did it with all the expectations. And that's a unique situation, in my opinion. You know, certainly teams can come out of nowhere and win a tournament, but those guys came back and won it again. And the situation was totally different both years for that group. But it just goes, it speaks to them as competitors. I mean, think about this now. For, I think, their last 2 years in postseason play, they were 18-0. They never lost a postseason game. So that just gives you an idea of how good those guys. I think they were like 18-0 playing their last 2 years.